So let me open this up. All right, so we have 10, 1, 10, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 that we can look at. So let me open up iLearn here. I think I closed it, sadly. We can look at what those are. All right. So we're going to chapter 10, which is what we've done for week 12 and week 13. And we have 20 minutes, so we should be able to go through a few of these real quick. Put this over here. All right, reading chapter 10, arrays. All right, just getting all set up over here. All right, let's come down into our programming exercises. Let's take a look at what we got here. All right, programming assignments. First one, write a function that creates and returns an array that contains the values 19, 08, 5, and 10. All right, let's just look at that really quick. This is a pretty easy one. So, outside of it being Mother's Day, all I really have to worry about is something like this. So I have a function that's called Mother's Day. All right, and that is going to return an array 1908, 5, and 10. As simple as that. Okay, that's our first one. All right, 2, 3, 4, and 5 must be your assignments for weeks 12 and 13. So let's jump over to number 6. Write a function to rotate the elements in an array to the left. In other words, the function must move each element from its location to the location immediately to the left, and then move the first value from its location to the last location, not necessarily in that order. The function must have this header. Okay, let's do this real quick. Let me open up my text editor. All right, let me close. Well, let's leave it like that. All right. So I'm going to leave all this the same. I'm going to leave run function pretty much the same. I'm going to call this, well, I'll just make a new function called rotate left list. Okay, so there's our function header. Goodbye gravitational pull. And we're going to call rotate left here. And we're going to pass in this list. Okay. Whatever is returned from rotate left is inside of this alert, and so it will be alerted to the user to help us test easily. But again, for something like this, all we would have to do is just submit the function, rotate left. All right. So we have our list. Let's think through this. Let's think through how we could do this. We could easily do this with a loop. Okay. Let's see. The function must move each element from its location to the location immediately to the left, and then move the first value from its location to the last location, not necessarily in that order. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys 2 ways to do this. The first one, if I want to move everything over to the left, I'm going to have to store the first value in my array in a separate location for a sec before I put it back onto the end of the array. So I'm going to say var first item equals list at index of 0. Now I can take that out and I'm not going to lose that data. Okay. So I could say var new array equals just an empty array. And then I could start looping. I could say for I equals 0 while I is less than list.length I plus plus. Then actually I'm going to start at 1, okay, because we don't care about the first item. And I'm just going to say new array at index of I minus 1 equals list at index of I. Okay. And then once you're done with that, I could say new array at index of new array dot length equals first item. Okay, because if I have, so right here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so my length is going to be 4, or sorry, my length is going to be 5. My last index is going to be 4. So if I say new array index of 5, there's going to be nothing there while I loop through this, and I'll go ahead and throw in that first item that came from list. Okay, let's see if this works. Let's test it out real quick. I'm going to copy this file path, paste it in here, and let's run our function. It says undefined, so something didn't work. Let's hit F12, and let's debug this thing. Let's see what's going on. All right, so I'm going to put a breakpoint right there. Okay, list came through, so our other function should be just fine. We have our list. First item is 17, true, that's good. New array is empty, okay. List.length is 5. All right, I minus 1 will insert into the first index inside of our new array. So new array has 8, that looks good. Okay, because we're shifting this whole thing to the left, so 8 should be an index of 0. All right, we'll go again. New array is now 8, 9, good. Go again, 8, 9, 5, I'm looking at it right here. 8, 9, 5, 20, good. Okay, this is probably where we had our error. Let's see what happens. Okay. Oh, we jumped down. Okay, oh, I guess that's right, that's good. Okay, new array is index of, or has a length of 4. There's where it was. So it has a length of 4. And so we said new array dot length is 4. And at that index, should be undefined. First item was 17. Well, that looks strangely correct. 8, 9, 5, 20, 17. Okay, so that looks good. Oh, we didn't return it. Rotate left didn't return new array. So it didn't have anything to return to this guy, so alert was undefined because it didn't return anything. All right, so let's go ahead right here. We would just say return new array. And if I hit refresh over here, I can take off my breakpoint, hit that, and you can see 8, 9, 5, 20, 17. Okay, so that's the first way that we could do it. Completely programmatic. Okay, we don't have any JavaScript functions here. All right, another way that we could do it is using something called pop. Let's go ahead and Google that real quick. JavaScript pop. Let's see what it does. W3 schools array.pop. Remove the last element of an array. Okay, so that's not what we want. Okay, let's look up, but we're going to need that here in a sec. JavaScript unshift. Now, if you didn't know what these were called, that's just fine. All right, I could say JavaScript remove first element from an array. And you'll see we have this array shift method. Okay, let's click on that. It's from an unshift. Remove the first item of an array. Let's see what happens. So we have banana, orange, apple, mango. We try it, and banana's gone. Okay, so as long as I store this item somewhere else, then I could just, instead of using this for loop, I could just say list.shift. And I could just call that shift function, and it would take off the first item off of that. Okay, and then to add it back on the end, I could say list.push first item. Okay, let's run it again. Let's make sure it works still. Hit my button. Oh, we got an error. New array is not defined. We're just returning our same list. Okay, let's run it again. 8, 9, 5, 20, 17. Okay, so using shift and push saved us a few lines of code, a loop. It'd be faster to perform. So 2 ways that you could do that. All right, let's go to our next one. Write a function, rotate the elements in an array to the right. All right, so we have our function rotate left here. Now we're going to change this to rotate right. It'll be the exact same thing, except 17 will go to index of 1 instead of 5 or 4. And 20 will need to go to the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say list.length -1, take out our last index. And right here, I'm going to say last item. All right. And then if we Google JavaScript remove last element from an array, that's where array.pop was. Okay. Remove the last element from an array. Let's try it. We have fruits array, banana, orange, apple, mango. We'll pop it, and there goes mango. Okay. So we save our last item. Same train of thought. We'll save it, and then we'll say list.pop. We just removed it, and then let's do one more Google search. We'll say JavaScript add item to beginning of array, and there's our unshift method. Okay, we have banana, orange, apple, mango, and we're saying unshift lemon and pineapple, and it just adds those to the beginning of it. Okay, so I'll say it's like push, but instead of on to the end, it's adding it to the beginning. So we'll say list.unshift last item. Okay, so we save our last item, and then we pop it out of the list, and then we unshift it back into the beginning of the list. Okay, and we can do this exact same thing with the for loop like we did with the other one. It would just obviously look slightly different. Okay, let's put a breakpoint right here. Oh, we got an error. Rotate right's not defined. Let's paste that right there and refresh and run our function. All right, we have last item, which is 20. We have our list. Pop is defined as a function. Hit F10, and now list no longer has 20 in it. Okay, and then unshift is also declared as a function. Last item is 20, and we'll go ahead and add that onto the beginning of our list and then return it. And that, in effect, rotated everything to the right. Okay. All right. Let's look at our next one. Looking at these, I think we have time for about one more. Okay. So we did rotate left, rotate right. Golf, this is your guys' extra credit for the week. Okay, so we're not going to go through that one right now. Let me just make sure I'm not. Yeah, so 9 through 14. So Colt, since you're here, I'll let you choose which one you want to see. Okay. 9, HTML document with a button and a div. Crazy story. Okay, so this would kind of be like a Mad Lib. All right, but we have a crazy story function, and we are going to create 5 functions in the head of the document that all look like this. They each need to have an array with at least 10 words, nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. And then the last function, choose integer, must return a pseudo-random integer between 1 and 99. Finally, add this function to the same script, and then it'll display an awesome story. Okay, so we can do that one. 12 Days of Christmas. This will be fun. So write a program that allows the user to enter an integer between 1 and 12. So if the user entered 1, it should just be on the first day of Christmas, factory will give to me a partridge in a pear tree. And if it was 4, it would just basically sing out the lyrics from 4th day all the way to partridge in a pear tree. Okay, so we did that one. 11, write an HTML document with 2 text areas and a button. A JavaScript program will read all the text from 1, split the numbers into an array, sort them numerically, and display them in the second. This one is really similar to the last one, except it will just remove duplicates instead of sorting them. Oh, but it looks like it is sorting them too. It'll sort and remove duplicates. 13, representation of all the cards in the deck of rook cards. Oh, and you're supposed to shuffle them. And write a function that uses an array and no if statements to solve the Arabic number to Roman numerals programming assignment as given in chapter 6. And that's it. So Colt, what do you think?
Let's go with the crazy story.
Okay, let's do the crazy story. All right. All right, I'm going to copy our crazy story function first, since we won't need to write that. And I'll just paste it right there. Just gonna over. All right. So we have that. And as this crazy story function is run, we're assigning a new variable called story. And that's what we're assigning to our output div, which exists. Nice. And throughout, it will call all of these functions several times. So let's declare each one of those functions real quick. I'm going to copy this, whoops, each one of these, and I'm just going to paste them right here. And for each one, I'm going to hit Control D on these to get, whoops, to get a cursor on each one. And I'm just going to add curly braces to the end. All right. It says each one needs to contain an array of at least 10 words. So let's Google most common nouns. 1,500. That's a little bit more than we need, but hey, that's okay. Those aren't nouns. Are these nouns? Way is a common noun? Are you kidding me? All right, let's go to a different website. 25 common nouns. I bet these are good ones. Well, let's do it. So we need 10. So let's go ahead and grab our 10. And I'm just going to make a new file right here. Make sure that they're all good. Okay, those look good. I'm going to put those right here. And I'm going to tab that over. Control-Shift-L will make a cursor on the end of each line that I have highlighted. And add a comma to each one and delete the line space in front of it and all that extra space. Okay, that needs to go down. Var nouns equals, and all this is going to be inside of an array. And there's our nouns array. Okay, let's do common verbs. 25 most common verbs. Okay. Let's do funny verbs. Those are boring verbs. All right, these will work. It'll let me select them. Okay. So I'm going to just grab a few of these, and I'll come back over here, make sure they're all good. Oop, that's a lot of space between them. And take out all that space. We only need 10. Let's take those out. And I'm going to copy these the same way as we did our other ones. Put them all there. Control-Shift-L, comma. Except I don't need one here. Made that mistake last time. Select those. Delete that. And we need a closing bracket and a semicolon at the end. And var verbs. Opening bracket. Okay, there's our verbs array. Let's say funny adjectives. All right. Internet worthy. Oh, that's going to give me way too much stuff. That's okay. All right. Let's see here. We need 10. Bearded, duck-like, violent, slimy, creepy, bone, self-centered. Oop, that was 11. All right, copy those into here. Tab them all over. Accommodate each one of those. Adjectives, bracket, closing bracket, and semicolon. Ooh, we're gonna have some issues. I wasn't even thinking about that. All these are strings, you guys. We're gonna need every single one of these in quotes. Okay. Our adjectives and adverb. List of adverbs. Oh, okay. Well, that's enough. Okay, copy all that. And we only need 10. Okay, my kid behind me. Hey, kiddo. Adverbs. Paste this into here. Okay, each one of these needs to be in quotes again. So go ahead and add those to quotes.
Daddy, I got hot.
Okay, and then choose integer. So we have those 4 set up. Let's go ahead and look at what choose integer needs to be. Choose integer must return a pseudo-random integer between 1 and 99. Finally, add this function to the same script as the other 5 functions. Okay, so let's Google how to do that. I'll say JavaScript random number in range. Okay, math.random returns a random number. So this times 10 will do a random integer from 0 to 9. So let's go ahead and copy that. And we're just going to return math.random, but we need it between 0 and 99. Okay. Floor, if you don't remember what floor does, it just forces it to round down to help keep us in our range. All right, finally add this function to the same script. Let's see. Choose noun must contain an array with at least 10 nouns. When one of these 4 functions is called, the function must randomly choose one of the words in its array and return that word. So example 8, what is example 8? Got a random integer there. Then write code to return the word that is stored. So I feel like each one of these is going to need a parameter to say which value to return. So I'm just going to say index to return, or value, or I'll just say index to return for each one of those. And then I'll say return that at index of index to return. Okay. I didn't do 100 words, so I'm going to bump that down back to 0 to 9. All right, so I think that should work for us. Let's go ahead and try to run it and see what happens. Copy path, come over here, I had it right here, and run it. No errors. Ooh, there we have an error. Let's see what we had. Run function is not defined. Oh, that's an easy one to fix. All right, we should be calling crazy story. 5, hit my button. The man comes undefining a horse. The horse is undefined, and has no undefined. Okay, let's see what's going on. Let's put a breakpoint in here. We'll put one there first. Hit our button. All right, so story is still undefined because all of this is just in a single assignment operator. Choose verb. If I want to see what's going on in there, I'm going to put that in. Nouns is declared. Index to return was not declared. So I made a mistake. Indices are not being passed in here, which means each one of these functions we need to call our choose integer function. So let's go ahead and fix that real quick. I'm going to take out all of our parameters there. And instead of having index to return, we are going to call choose integer. And we'll just return that random number, and then that'll get put into the index of whatever array value we're returning. Okay, so let's save that, hit refresh, hit our button. Nice. The man comes accelerating a horse The horse is jaggedly duckline and has no time. The saddle is slimy, and the stirrups don't match. His clothing is strange. He wears 0 hats and a slimy shirt. One time of his pants is torn off to the knee. His sword is creepy and has a broken hilt and accomplishes from the bottom of the person. So there is our crazy story. All right. Any questions on anything we just did?
Oh, you made it look really easy, though.
Well, practice, my friend, practice. But okay, well, you guys, that is all I had prepared for you. If anyone wants to see any one of these other ones in here, just let me know, and I'd be happy to make a quick video of me doing that as well. But otherwise, this is our last live classroom, so I appreciate you guys coming, and good luck with the rest of your semester. The final exams are open, so once you finish up your work this week, if you want to call it quits a week early, you're totally welcome to. They are unlocked for you. But I would recommend don't take them until you're ready. So get lots of practice in first. But
Will do.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day, you guys. All right.